Hi everyone, this is Heather. We are really excited this year to be taking our first big trip overseas. We're taking the kids to Italy in June, but I wanted to give you some background information, but also I want to give you all of our details in terms of our itinerary and our cost, because I know that when I was looking for these things, it was always interesting to hear like where people decided to go, how much did it really cost, etc. Okay, so let's take a step back. I want to tell you how this came to be. I guess it had to be about 3 years ago. Ella is 15 now, so she would have been, 12 or 13. I was reading a book by Bob Goff, and it's called Love Does. It is an excellent must-read book for everyone. But in the book, he talks about how when his kids turned 13, he told them that they could pick anywhere in the world they wanted to visit, and they would make that happen. I thought that was so smart, a really great idea. And as I was reading the book, like I said, Ella was around 12 or 13. However, we had just built our homestead and we didn't have enough money for a vacation to Lake Erie, let alone anywhere overseas. So there was just no way that was going to happen. And I actually got really sad about it and kind of depressed, like, oh man, that would be awesome to do with our kids, but there's just no way. We just don't have the funds for it. I was super upset, and I thought Bob Goff would not want me to be upset because I can't take my kids anywhere in the world. Bob Goff's motto, by the way, which is one that I've adopted, is to love God, love people, and do stuff. So I thought, okay, we can't do it now, but could we do it in the future? How about when they turn 16? Okay, what if when the kids turn 16, we tell them they could pick anywhere in the world they wanted to visit and we would make it happen? So again, this was a couple of years ago and I started saving. I did not know how much money any of these trips would cost, but I thought in my head, anywhere in the world, I better put aside about $10,000. And I just got really fixated on it, and I would squirrel away money, any little bit of money at any point that I could, so that we could make this happen. Now, we did not tell the kids until we felt like, okay, we actually can do it. We can make that happen by the time they're 16. So last year we told them. It was super exciting, and Ella picked Italy, and she's gonna be 16 this year, which is incredible. So in front of me, I have our itinerary and the breakdown of all of the costs. We are flying into Rome from JFK. I priced out all different types of airfare. I priced out from Pittsburgh to Rome with whatever stop. There would obviously be a stop. I priced from DC to Rome and from JFK to Rome. Oh, and also from Philly. And I found obviously the cheapest airfare is JFK to Rome. And it is, the time I booked it, which was last week, $440 per person from JFK to Rome in June, which I didn't think was too bad at all. But we had to get to JFK. If I did a flight from Pittsburgh to Rome, so I keyed it in and said Pittsburgh to Rome, and we stopped in JFK, that flight was around $1,600 a person. Okay, but I knew I could get a flight from Pittsburgh to JFK for less than that difference. So I looked into it, and what we ended up doing was separately booking a flight from Pittsburgh to JFK, which was $244 per person, and then the $440 per person from JFK to Rome. And that's obviously direct flight, which makes it a little bit nicer. And the total for all 4 tickets for all of this was $2,700, which I didn't think was too bad for the 4 of us to get over to Italy. Okay, so once in Italy, we had to decide where we're going to visit and for how long. So we decided to take 2 weeks, and we're going to start, obviously we fly into Rome. We're going to take a high-speed train from Rome to Florence. We're going to stay in Florence, I believe, for 4 nights. Now, I haven't booked our reservations yet, but we're going to do Airbnb at all of these different locations, and I have the places saved that we're going to book, so I have a rough idea of the cost there. So we're going to go to Florence for 4 nights. We are going to take a high-speed train from Florence past Rome all the way down to Naples, but we're gonna stay probably in Positano. So on that Amalfi coast, am I saying that right? On that coast, we're gonna stay there for a couple nights. We are then going to rent a car and drive across the country to a town called Bari. And that's because a very good friend of mine is living in Bari right now. And we're gonna stay with some friends of hers, and it's gonna be awesome. It's on the coast, beautiful Adriatic Sea, super excited about that. That's really gonna be like our downtime. So we're obviously gonna do a lot of touristy things in Florence, and then down towards Positano, like visit Pompeii. That sounds very interesting to me. Ella's really excited about that. Okay, then over to Bari, we drive over to Bari, we spend 4 nights there. Then we are going to fly from Bari to Rome. It's about an hour flight, and I think it was running around $40 a person one way. So haven't booked that flight yet, but we're gonna fly from Bari to Rome. We're gonna spend 3 or 4 nights in Rome because when we leave, we are flying out of Rome. So we're actually gonna do our Rome touring dead last. So I think we'll be there 3 or 4 nights, like I said. Okay, total for accommodations for 2 weeks. Looks like, because I haven't booked it yet, it's going to be around $2,800 for all of it. So between the airfare of $2,700 and $2,800 for lodging, we're at $5,500. I had set a budget of $10,000. Obviously, we need money for food and ground transportation, so that's factored into that. I'm not sure what this is going to look like in terms of total spend once it's done. Hopefully we can manage to stay under $10,000. I would hope so. But I think what I'll do is after the vacation, maybe I'll report back and we'll talk about, maybe I can get the kids involved, about what cities we liked, what activities we enjoyed, what we didn't, what we found helpful or not so helpful, and our total project spend. I, as a researcher of vacations like this, am super curious as to what people spend because I have to know what to budget, right? So hopefully you found this helpful. If you have been to Italy or stayed anywhere in Italy, could you please comment and let me know where? What did you tour? What did you love? How much did it cost? What about food? I mean, I need all of the information you can provide. Evan has been spending a ton of time on Duolingo learning Italian. So far, he's the only one that knows any of the words, but he actually knows quite a few. So we are hoping that our 10-year-old will be our translator. Isn't that awesome? Hey, have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.